Now that you have the knowledge to create an infinite food loop, we must return to the ultimate question: how do you defend it? When the grid goes dark, your standard social media apps will go dead. But a prearranged group chat containing you and your 6 closest neighbors will become your local command and control center. As the initiator of this alliance, your first strategic task is to perform a voluntary, transparent neighborhood audit. You need to look at your 7-household unit through 2 critical lenses. First, demographics and roles. A survival alliance is not a social club. It is a sacred, cooperative responsibility where everyone functions as a different part of the same body. The men in the alliance will naturally shoulder the heavy labor and the grueling, high-risk tasks of security watches and perimeter defense. The women will naturally lead the vital ministries of medical care, garment repair, food rationing, and childcare. This isn't about hierarchy. It is about efficient, life-saving division of labor. Second, infrastructure asset mapping. The existing layout of each home determines its divine duty to the group. These assets are not privileges, they are assignments of service. If neighbor A has a swimming pool, their home officially becomes the Alliance's Water Rationing Center, dedicated to filtration and storage. If neighbor B has an exceptionally large, sunny backyard, their property naturally becomes the core agricultural hub, scaled up for massive sweet potato replication. If neighbor C has solar panels, their home is designated as the medical and emergency power charging station. Every home serves a purpose. And remember, this information is never collected secretly. It is shared openly and transparently in your group chat, with the full understanding, cooperation, and consent of every single neighbor. Now, we must look at the physical layout of your neighborhood. If you and your neighbors live in a court, a cul-de-sac or dead-end street, you are in a highly strategic position. A court naturally isolates your group from high-traffic chaos, making it much easier to block entry points and fortify your perimeter. However, if your 7 households are on an open, through street, the reality is different. At least 2 of the homes at the ends of your chain will have next-door neighbors who are not part of your group. When this happens, listen to me carefully. Do not invite these outsiders into your 7-household group. In a survival crisis, your immediate instinct might be to absorb everyone. But management science and military history have proven a strict biological law. The magic number is 7. Cognitive science proves that when a tight-knit decision group exceeds 7 members, its administrative efficiency plummets, and internal friction skyrockets. Conversely, if a group falls below 7, its operational capacity drops below the baseline required to sustain 24-hour security watches, water distribution, and agricultural labor simultaneously. So what do you do with those next-door outsiders on an open street? You do not absorb them. Instead, you empower them. You share our previous video with them and encourage them to form their own 7-household alliance further down the street. Think of it as a cellular hive defense. True security in a lawless world doesn't come from building one massive, unmanageable compound. It comes from an entire region filled with independent, tightly knit, 7-household cells. When a crisis hits, if one cell is threatened, the surrounding cells lock together like a honeycomb, creating an unbreakable wall of mutual defense. We do not overexpand. We replicate. Here is the beauty of this system. It requires zero maintenance during times of peace. This group chat doesn't need daily meetings or forced interactions. If your neighbors want to use it to share gardening tips, survival info, or even just post family photos and prayer requests, that is perfectly fine. Let it be a warm, quiet neighborhood chat. Until the day the world suddenly snaps. No water, no power, no internet. When that crisis strikes, while the rest of the world plunges into blind panic, the members of your alliance will look at their dead cell phones, and they won't feel terror. Because deep in their hearts, they will instantly recognize the silence for what it truly is. The signal has sounded. The mobilization has begun. Without a single app notification, the armed men will walk to the street corners to establish the first security watch. Neighbor B will grab a shovel to prep the soil. Neighbor A will secure the water gates. No meetings required. The blueprint was already branded into their minds during times of peace. This is why we must act today. Do not wait for the chaos to start knocking on doors. Today, in times of peace, use this guide, The Produce You Grew, and this video link as a simple gardening gift to knock on your neighbor's door and start a conversation. Think about it. 7 neighbors means 7 households. By doing this, you are helping God establish a thriving congregation right where you live. Tomorrow, in times of crisis, it becomes the foundation of your Doomsday alliance. Let us not just survive the end times, let us harvest souls for the kingdom of God.